Listen, I'm thrilled to be here tonight and to see so many of you here, and I'm equally proud. It always humbles me when someone I admire and love as much as I do Chris, when he says that he's proud to be working with me as leader. It means a lot to me. The notion in the Green Party of a leader is a pretty tenuous and perhaps imaginary title. It does mean that I am the media face and voice of this party, but I am not the party. You are the party. All the volunteers are great candidates. Our volunteers, our members, are the Green Party of Canada. And the job of leader is to do a good job for you, explaining what we stand for to people who are not quite sure. They're pretty sure they don't want what they've seen from the other parties. They go through a process of elimination. I just don't think I can vote for them again, whatever who the them are. I just don't think I can stand to be disappointed again. And I might just vote Green. I wonder what those people stand for. So my job is to get out there and explain it so that when they discover what we stand for, they can be really excited and inspired about how they're voting. And instead of voting for none of the above, they can be saying, I'm going to vote for something that really matters. I'm going to vote for my kids' future. I want to feel good about this. So I'm extremely proud and happy to have been serving as leader of the Green Party of Canada now for just about a year and a half. And we are, as Jim has told you, really on a roll. I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to particularly recognize Lou Caracasoli, who's running also in this by-election in the Willowdale riding. I want you to know I was out there today at one of the local high schools. What bright kids. What sharp questions. As we left, Becky Smith, Ontario organizer, who's here somewhere, said to me, those kids, yay, Becky. She said, those kids are way smarter than I was when I was in high school. Those were really, one of the kids asked me about the problem of greenhouse gases, and he'd read somewhere that they were mixing in the ocean and making it more acid, and was that true? Yeah, actually, yeah, that's carbonic acid is happening, and yes, it would kill marine life, and yes, it could kill. So the questions the kids had were significant and great, and it was a really fun thing to be out there with you. I don't want to talk for too long because I know you want to mix and mingle and talk to Chris, but I do want to share with you what we're up against. Chris mentioned what the budget was like. Chris was covering for me on Parliament Hill, and I'm really grateful he was there on the day the budget was released. But I only started reading the budget when I got back from where I was, which was called a vacation. I didn't know it existed in the Green Party, but I found one. And I happened to miss being on Parliament Hill for the budget. That budget is not a big nothing. When I start reading that budget, I think, what country do I live in? You've got to find it. You've got to look at it. It's all about increasing security. It's about beefing up the Security and Prosperity Partnership and throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at the Security and Prosperity Partnership. It's about an ever-expanding military, building into the budget not just the kind of increases that we need to ensure our soldiers are properly trained and properly equipped when they go overseas and they put their lives at risk. This is a budget that militarizes Canada. This is a budget that takes a country that prized peacekeeping and our social safety net and says we want to be tough on crime, we want to throw people in jail, and on top of that, you won't believe the line item that really I found the most chilling was, I can't remember what it was something like, I think on the order of $15 million to be able to put biometrics into the visas of foreign nationals when they come to Canada. This is a big brother budget, and it's about militarizing our country. And it sure isn't about climate change. It's not even about the thing they promised in the speech from the throne that wasn't that long ago, a fresh water agenda with money for science on water. That disappeared somewhere between the speech from the throne in October and this February 26th budget. And yes, I was excited. I thought, oh, good. The St. Lawrence, Great Lakes, good. Money for St. Lawrence and Great Lakes. Security. More policing along polluted waterways, but not cleaning it up. And I read this budget, and in the context of the climate crisis, I thought, Stephen Harper is so deluded. He's like a man whose house is on fire and ignores the fire while he puts more bolts and locks on the door. This is insanity, and the sooner we end the insanity of having a government that doesn't represent the values of Canadians or the concerns of Canadians, the better. I wish that we'd brought down, I wish the government had been brought down on that budget. I wish we were going to the polls across the country sooner than later, because no matter what the polls say today about who'd win that election, it's important to have a referendum on the policies of a party that doesn't believe in the Canada we know and love, but believes it should be reformed and reshaped in the image of something that none of us would want. So we need to be aware of what's happening to our country. We need to hang on to it with both hands. We need to get out there and make sure that Lou and Chris in this riding and in Willowdale do beyond what anyone expected. And I want you to know, I may be, everybody cares a bit about doing really well and being the first, but I won't mind if Chris is the first MP for the Green Party of Canada. If Chris is the first, I want you to know it'll be my pleasure to join him in the House of Commons as soon as I beat a little-known Conservative named Peter MacKay, who, Apropos of Chris's story about being last night at the debates and being targeted as the front runner by the NDP, there's an email circulating in Central Nova. The Conservatives are sending this email to Liberals, because the Liberals aren't running anyone against me in Central Nova, which is particularly nice. I wish Bob Ray wasn't running against you. They should do the same thing. So, yeah. But in Central Nova, the Liberals don't have a candidate, and the Conservatives are reaching out to them in a quite amazing email that says, well, you may not agree with, we know poor Liberal, you don't have a candidate. What a shame. And we would really welcome your support for, even though it's not the party you usually vote for, he is, a local boy done good. She actually didn't grow up in the riding, but that's another thing. So, we urge you to come over and join us in this campaign because it is, and this is quote unquote from the Conservative email, the only way to stop Elizabeth May. As with most efforts to do something like this, the response from Liberals has been fantastic. They call, they join, they show up to volunteer for the Green Party of Canada, and they're only too happy to imagine the day that Peter MacKay, who's as Minister of Defence, the budget was great as a Minister of Defence, lots of money for the military, nothing for Atlantic Canada, mind you, and nothing for the rest of the country for things we care about. But he's not a bad guy, and it's the same way you feel about Bob Ray. Peter is someone I've been friends with for years, and I think that with all the goodwill and staying on the high road, I wish him well in finding something useful to do with his life. Because being the helpmeet of Stephen Harper, being there to bring in the kind of changes to Canada, fundamental changes, while putting our planet at risk through a climate policy which is obstructionist, is not something that anyone should do with their life. So I'm there to help him to find something useful to do. And I look forward to Chris being in the House of Commons, and with me, and with Lou, and with other candidates of ours I see in the room. Blake is here from Oakville, and Eric is here from Barrie, and I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. When we're all together there in the House of Commons, we will change the climate in Parliament. Thank you.
Seriously though, we do, it would help out. Any way you can help out is extremely valuable. But if you are interested, Jason, stick up your paw there. Jason Hammond is our volunteer coordinator. He's been doing a great job. And if you're interested in getting involved, either volunteering or if you're interested in making a donation, it'd be extremely valuable. And please talk to Jason. And thank you so much for coming. It means so much to me. I hope you have a great evening. And those of you I haven't talked to yet, I look forward to speaking with you. Thanks so much.